Hey folks, hope you're well. Got a little unboxing for you today. It's been a good week. We got the Ginault Ocean Rover 2.5 in a couple of days ago, and I've got a Tusenö Shellback version 2, hopefully blue, in this box that just arrived. I ordered this one back in, we talk about weights. I had to wait 10 weeks for this one. This one I ordered back in, I think May, so June, July, August, September, October, November, December, 7-8 months almost. So let's get on with the unboxing. Now, to be fair, I kind of forgot I'd ordered this, and I have had a load of the Tusenös in. Only the Shellbacks, the only real one that kind of draws my attention, but I think it's a beautiful watch. I've had the blue, date, no date, had the black one in a while back in the summer. So when they announced the version 2 with its kind of minor upgrades, I put in like a pre-order. They're sold out now, you can't get them. So that's what happens. But the production finally happened and they shipped it out maybe 3-4 days ago. And I got it here today. It's the 3rd of January. So anyway, there we go. So Tusenö, Göteborg, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Pretty basic box. You've got the nice kind of debossed Tusenö logo there in the silver. Take that out, a little congratulations card with a contact and a QR code. It's fairly nice. Quite similar to the one I get with Ginault stuff, just sitting here. Then we have, okay, Tropics rubber strap. I didn't realize I was getting, I think that was a freebie you got with the pre-orders. I forgot about that one. So, oh, this is nice. This is a good quality one. Sometimes with the Tropics rubber, it's a little bit brittle or it doesn't feel that soft, but this is really nice. It's good quality. So you have the Tusenö clasp here with a little logo. Hopefully you can see that. But that's a nice little addition, freebie. Microfiber cloth with Tusenö on it. Nice little addition too. I'll put that there. And then you've got the cork box, if you call it that, watch roll. It's a watch roll with the Tusenö silver here, full cork, which is a little bit different. Nice soft kind of sides to it and everything like that. Pop it open, couple of different poppers, I suppose you would call it. And then as you open, you've got the watch in here. It's got that kind of, detachable cushion as well. So you get a little travel roll as well as a box, which I think is a nice little efficiency. But I'll tell you a few things about this just as we start in. Like I say, it's sold out. These particular ones, this is the date. I think they're like the same price. They may be a little bit different, date versus no date. But this is the date model. It had mostly no dates before, and I just wanted to get the date in. I normally do go for a date configuration if it's there. So this one, I thought I'd just opt for something a little bit different I hadn't had before. Size-wise then, actually, just let's do price. $699 for this particular one. That's what I paid on pre-order, I think. Maybe as low as $649. It is Swiss made. This is the blue version. So it's got beautiful blue ceramic bezel insert and then a kind of vertically brushed dial. I'll talk a little bit about the specs first, get that stuff out of the way. It's a 40mm diameter. I can tell you now they wear really well. I've got another 40mm I'm going to compare it to so you can actually see the differences. Because as we know, 40mm, 41, 42, even within those ranges, they can wear slightly differently based on lug length, thickness, all that stuff. So 40mm diameter, 47mm lug to lug. So theoretically very wearable. Thickness 11.9. excluding the sapphire crystal. So it's a good thin proportion. You'll see the difference when I show you the Ginault side by side. It's got the same movement as the Ginault SW200. This is the standard version. Okay, that's the difference there. So the Ginault has the SW200-1 Elabore grade, and then it's regulated for 6 weeks before shipping out. So a little bit of a different attention to detail, but a different price point. So I don't want to do too much of the comparison until we sit them side by side as well. And that, by the way, sitting them side by side is more to show you size differences and quality and different things like that. So 47mm, 11.9, Sellita SW200, double dome sapphire crystal, AR coated, as you would expect. Polished blue ceramic, etched markings filled with Luminova, 120 click, unidirectional bezel. And then the crown is screw-in, big crown. It's got the Tusenö star embossed on that. And then water resistance, just 200 meters on this particular one, not that I've ever been diving in my entire life. Lume is BGW9 Swiss Super Luminova, so it's fine. And then one of the upgrades they've made is to the bracelet. So the bracelet now it's a lot smoother. I can see that instantly. I'm just going to unwrap it here. It's a lot less kind of bulky. Before, it kind of reminded me a lot of, like, I'm trying to think back, like maybe like some of the helm divers and stuff like that. I suppose this is quite similar. It now has these push releases, but there's no diver's extension. I think that's what made it so bulky, was the diver's extension kind of sliding over. Didn't really do a good job of that. Now what they have, let me see if they have actually. Oh, they've got a push micro adjustment. This is like kind of like the Christopher Ward style, right? So in here underneath the bracelet, you've got the push, and then you can slide it out to adjust. It's not a massive amount. It's like a centimeter's worth. I think on like the Christopher Ward, or in fact the Ginault, I'll take this off so you can see it. There's quite a bit more. It's pretty much double the extension in the Ginault. Just so you're aware, it's enough, more than enough actually. So definitely won't ding it for that. Overall then, I mean, I've had a load of these in, so I know what I'm talking, kind of viewing here. Quality is great. Love the hand kit, love the sandwich dial with the depth to it around those markers. Just looks fantastic. A very different look as well. Kind of vintage, kind of porthole look with the sandwich dial. The hand kit, again, very different. One of the smartest things I always loved about this hand kit was, if you see the little cutout circle in the hour hand, right? That perfectly matches. Let me just send it around here. So as we go, lovely smooth movement on, even though it's a base Sellita SW200. We just see the circle as it kind of gets to the Shellback writing on the dial. It actually pops right over it. It's perfectly aligned. And that's, that's a little touch, but I really appreciate that kind of design touch for sure. You'll also notice a nice touch as well is that the minute hand perfectly wraps at the edge of that inner dial. So it's just right up against the end, really long minute hand, but very well done. And then the seconds hand goes even further. So I really, really like the way they designed this. Is what always drew me to this particular watch. Just looking through then, the overall kind of impression, obviously the ceramic bezel up top, very good quality. Again, bearing in mind, this is like a 699 watch. You're getting a Swiss made watch, SW200, ceramic bezel insert, sapphire crystal. You're getting, a really nice smooth, this feels really smooth already, diver's or bracelet with the extension with screw pins here. You're really actually getting a lot for your money. And then in terms of the build quality, ceramic is very nice. I won't say it's anything special. If you look at the Ginault, that's a special ceramic bezel with the deep cutouts, the engineering on it. This is very, very nice. And as far as I remember, it's loomed as well, which we'll see if I can get a little shot on that. Yeah, it should be loomed, which I always love that kind of approach. So I think that's great. Love the uniqueness of the hand kit, the dial. I'm not sure if you actually see much of the brushing in this light, maybe at that angle. So it's vertically brushed on the dial. It's still, I will say one thing, even though it's vertically brushed, it looks quite satin in most lights as it hits it. You really have to kind of look for the brushing. I assume it is still there because it was on the first ones. Let me just look up. Yeah, it is. It says it is anyway, but it's just hard to see in this light in the office here, but maybe it'll come out in the video as well. But I just love the design of this. I think it's really, really well put together. And for an independent brand, they've they've done a great job of doing something that's a little bit different, because what can you really do with a diver's watch, right? But the sandwich dial is beautiful. The kind of porthole look as the our hand rolls around is great. That extra deep date window as well, because it's got the sandwich, but it almost like steps down twice into the date. I don't know if you can see that, but just the depth to that is phenomenal. And they keep it all within an 11.9 mil case, which is actually really, really impressive. On the back then, we have the Tusenö kind of star. You can see there, it's very nice around the edge. Sapphire, Tusenö. I don't know if these are numbered. I don't think so. Shellback is kind of reiterated multiple times around the inner area. Swiss made, automatic. Yeah, it's not numbered or anything, nor would you necessarily expect it to be. In terms of the engineering, along the case sides, we've got horizontally brushed steel. You do have that star logo for Tusenö embossed there on the crown. No crown guards, which is fine. You also have this bevel coming down across the lugs, which just adds a little smoothness to it. And then up top, vertically brushed there, going down into the bracelet. All right, just took a moment to unwrap the bracelet to see what it was really like, because it's the one thing about an independent brand watch. A lot of the times they'll scrimp and save on the bracelet. It'll be kind of jingly jangly, won't quite have the quality that you're expecting. Let me tell you something, the weight in this, and partly because of the clasp, I think, weighing it down, but the weight and the balance in it and the smoothness out of the box of this bracelet is it's exceptional. Really, really impressive. It's something that, I don't know whether they've changed the weight on this. I mean, I always remember it was pretty good. Maybe it was because of the kind of clunky divers clasp that I didn't quite feel it was up to par, but this is definitely an improvement here. I noticed a couple of people in the community complain about sharp edges, but I don't know what you'd expect out of a clasp like this. There are going to be some sharp edges, maybe some on the inside of the bracelet. That is pretty sharp there. I don't know whether it really would affect wearability or comfort or anything like that, but there you go. The brushing is very good quality, I think. Again, for $699, there's a lot to like about not only the build of this, but more so the design. I think the design really stands out in this market. And I think that's something that's really positive that you can say. In terms of the bezel action, I'm big on bezel action. Again, another area that I think a lot of independent brands scrimp and save on, just because it's more important to get the look rather than the function and the tactile feel. So let's see what this bezel is like. I can't really remember what the old ones I had were like. So it's 120 click. It's all right. It's not very high quality in my opinion. It's kind of notchy. There's a good bit of back play there. It's kind of not loose, but it's not great. Let me just show you the sound on it. Little bit of a hollow kind of sound, which I don't like. Let me just align that with the 12 again, give the ceramic a little bit of a rub down. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. It's okay, but not phenomenal. Like if you look at the Ginault bracelet, bracelet bezel, and again, this costs $1,000 more almost than the Tusenö, but this bezel for even in the independent market is another level. It's just glides around. It's beautiful. So I will say that about it. But $699, you got a great bracelet there. Let me just see how it wears on the wrist. Again, there's the Ginault. So it's great, like 40 mil, basically the same size, but on like a 7 and a bit inch wrist. So I'll set this one down, and then we've got the Tusenö. Let me just see, obviously I'll need to size it and everything. That's straight out of the box. Definitely feels a little bit heavier than the Ginault, a little bit more lopsided, kind of, you know, that feeling where it's going to turn a little bit, albeit once the bracelet size, that should take care of a lot of that. But it definitely feels a little bit more top heavy than the Ginault, which kind of sits, the center of gravity on the Ginault sits so flush to the wrist that it works really well. You see there, it's got a nice wrap on the lugs around your wrist, so it wears, it's comfortable in that way. The sizing is pretty great for the average wrist. Lug length feels longer than 47, but maybe I'm just getting a little bit of an adjustment to smaller pieces. Because I think actually it's 47 on the Ginault as well. So here we have like two pieces side by side, albeit slightly different markets. You know, the Ginault kind of retails, think about 1800. You normally get them around for this particular type of model with the date, ceramic, that kind of stuff. You're probably talking 1,000 to 1,200. The Tusenö's 699, grey market, maybe 450, 500, something like that. But the quality of both watches is excellent, both as sort of independent brands. There are marked differences, you know, in terms of the quality. The bracelet on the Ginault is noticeably just a good bit smoother, but I gotta say I'm really impressed with the Tusenö. The ceramic bezel is spot on the Tusenö, no complaints at all. Very, very good for an independent brand, just not in the same league. But again, you're paying an extra $1,000 for this, so at retail. So that's to be understood. The dial design on the Tusenö is where it shines, I think. It's just so unique. It's got that sandwich effect with the depth to it. The inner track with that white just kind of adds that contrast, because you got the blue dial, the white track, and then the blue bezel. It creates another dynamic to it, which I think is beautiful. And I think that he did, particularly on the design, an exceptional job. Outside of that, they're both 40 mil, 47 mil lug to lug. The Tusenö is slightly beefier, which you can see there across from the kind of start, the shoulder of the lug going up. It's a little bit beefier than, say, the Ginault. Side on wise, then this is kind of where I expected there to be less of a difference. But looking at this, I don't know if you can see it. Basically, the Tusenö is 11.9 mil, excluding the crystal. The Ginault is 11 mil now with this new version 2.5. But you'll see, at least in person, I don't know how it comes across in camera, I think it's actually quite a big noticeable difference. And part of it is the way the Ginault lugs have been designed. They kind of wrap down. There's not that kind of chunkiness to them, this sort of slab-like look. Maybe it's also partly the thinness around where the crown guard is, just accentuates the thinness of the case. The case back definitely drops down quite a bit more on the Tusenö. I think that's where a lot of the difference is. And then up top with the bezel, pretty similar thickness, I think, but again, the Tusenö is a little bit more of an industrial look compared to the Ginault, which is more traditional and elegant. But that all to say, very, very wearable, looks great. For $699, if that's what you're paying, I think I got $50 off for pre-order. I think it's an excellent value, particularly because the design is just so unique. And even the bracelet, you know, I like the fact that they haven't just gone for, you know, a standard H-link bracelet. There's like bevels along the side. It feels very, very smooth right out of the box. Like even sometimes the Ginaults don't, you know, they're a little bit squeaky. It takes a little while for the oil to work through them. But this is very, very smooth right out of the box, which you don't normally get with an independent brand, but more so than that at this price point. It's just not really the done thing. Nor do you get this type of design, the quality of the design, which I think is absolutely knocked it out of the park. So outside of a couple of minor gripes, you know, the bezel action isn't great to my mind. The crystal looks great. The design on the dial is excellent. The hand kit is very well engineered, noticeably so because of the polish on it. You really get this crisp feel out of it when you look at it. Bracelet's great. The brushing is very good. I feel like maybe the engineering on the crown could have got maybe a little bit sharper. There's a little bit of kind of merging to it, which sometimes you get. I just think it could have been a little bit crisper in look. That probably won't come across on the video. Case back looks great, love it. New clasp is excellent and seems to work really well with that extension. Again, it's not a massive extension. You basically get a centimeter's worth of play, but that's enough, right? You got cold wrists one day and it heats up. You're not going to expand or contract more than that. So I think that's really good. Got some half links, or they're not really half links. They're just small links, but a lot of play there, multiple different links on both sides you can get rid of, which is nice. That's actually something they added to the Ginault, an extra link in this latest 2.5 iteration. So yeah, it's an excellent watch. I've had most of these before, different variants, so I know what I'm getting really. And it's mostly for the design that I'm going for this. I just think it's a beautiful looking watch. Very comfortable, a little bit chunkier. Kind of reminds me of my old Turby. Was it Turby Lawless, which is a phenomenal watch as well. A little bit bigger than this. I think I had a 42, but it felt very similar. Had a similar kind of, I think similar kind of clasp as well. If not the chunkier diver's extension clasp. But overall, just beautiful piece, very unique design in this market. And that's why I went for it again. So hopefully that was of help, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts. Am I being too critical? Things like the bezel action, the crown stamp, all that stuff. But overall, more than worth the price in terms of the spec, the design, overall quality's exceptional out of the box. So do let me know how you get on, or if you're going for one of these, or you're maybe looking for one of these, pre-order, you've had the old model. I think this, I can't even remember the various upgrades. It was that long ago I ordered it. I think there was something to do with the date window, had a slight upgrade. I know the clasp was a big upgrade, and I can see that for sure. I don't know whether the old one had Tusenö in there, which I think is a nice touch. Bracelet, excellent. So overall, very happy with it. Beautiful looking watch, and well recommended by me for sure in the independent watch bracket at the $500, $600, $700 mark. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.